This is Chris Thomas. I am the Kitchen Badger. We're gonna do the Refrigerator Raider series. Bloody hamburguesa right here. We're gonna crawl through the refrigerator, bitchin' chipotle sauce. We're gonna root through the pantry. We always have papas and curries. We're gonna be pulling things out that maybe we haven't seen in a while. Absolutely, absolutement. The French have a term called témoin, which means to witness. We're looking for different colors or different contents of minerals. And you're never gonna put any liquid in your dish that you cannot drink yourself. And vitamins, let's do it. Ha ha! Let's go to town, let's do this. All right, people. We've identified our products we want to get rid of. We don't have any food in the house. Yes, we do. No, we have an island theme and we have a south of the border theme. All right, to make our first cocktail, let's use the plastic cutting board. Keeps your cutting board from sliding when you're doing it. Paring knife is for small things, turning things. We can use the tip. I like to hold my knife in here, so I'm like wielding it like that, so it's part of my hand. Or use my thumb to dig in. Claw, le claw! Claw hold, whatever you're doing, we're just gonna cut that out. Thin skin. That generally tells you it's gonna be very juicy. Look at the juice is already dripping off. We're gonna put that in our glass. Rocks glass. The mojito, we were suspect on that. Well, I shook it up and it seems to have incorporated. Témoin. Smell first. Sweet, it's limey, and it's not that salty, so that's perfect. I've never had Venezuelan rum. Let's see how that goes. Not too much. Ooh, it's a dark rum. Yes. I want some foaming action going on there. Ooh, that's Scottish, people. You know where I'm coming from? Now let's get cooking. We're gonna start with peeling. You wanna get the little black areas off. Claw, remember our claw into the potato. It's gonna run on your knuckles. Just move your fingers, flip it over. You can have some cool shapes, right? Cool shapes. In an effort to make our timing, we're gonna slice these a little thinner so they cook a little faster. So slice down the center, whoop, whoop. I'm not sawing, I'm just pushing. A dull knife is one of the biggest reasons for getting cut in the kitchen. Slide her in. Never want to go across your cutting board because that dulls the edge. All these vegetables are going to cook at a little different rate, so we want to have them separated. Oh, this is a weird sweet potato. Look at that. This looks like a Peruvian sweet potato. Now this is really hard, right? This is going to take a little bit more time than our other potato. Why don't we cut one side off so it can be flat? Let's make this like a small dice. These larger ones will have a little bit more texture to it. Got the claw. Different shapes. Might have a little crunchy bit. We might have a really soft bit. So now that I've cut these at a smaller shape than the potatoes, I think they're gonna cook at the same rate. I'm rotating the onion. Rotating the onion. Boom. We're gonna incorporate the same product, but into different dishes. Our island dish is going to be a braised dish. Celery, we're gonna use that in 2 of our dishes. We want these items all to cook at the same time. So that means we need to have all these shapes. It's a bias cut, so it's on the diagonal. That gives it more surface area. Generally don't use the whole onion. So I like to cut the ends off. If you cut against the grain, it's gonna disintegrate more. It's not the cooking process that makes it juicy and falls apart in your mouth. It's the cutting. Here we go. We're gonna try to keep it the same size. Last of our vegetables for our main dish. Again, I'm using my paring knife, though we're only gonna use about 1/3. In all peppers, the white part, the membrane, is always the hottest. We want to get rid of that. Some dishes you will use seeds, especially if you want it spicy. With the red, same thing, in we go. We have like cubes and squares. different shapes, that doesn't make a very good strip. We'll cut that off. That will cut into cubes again. If you cut against the skin, it's going to be very difficult. I'm going to go inside. Tip down on the wood. It's not going to go anywhere. We're making our strips. It's going to break down differently, soak up your juices differently. Fresh chicken is going to take much longer to cook. A light, cool rinse. There's our pollo. Tip down, slice. Adios. Got our leftover chicken here. Italian spice, that'll blend in just fine. These I'm gonna cut into large dices, 3/4 of an inch. See how I reach my finger over there to hold it? And away we go. I rotate again, slice. There we go. Ginger, no bueno. You see that shriveled? That's no good for anybody. How do you tell good ginger? Well, we don't have it here. Pungent, right? Everybody knows. Flavor balance. So we've got the woody part. I'm gonna use the back of the paring knife and I scrape the skin off. That way I don't have to worry about I'm gonna cut myself or it's gonna slip or anything. Again, I'm using my cutting board as a base. We're still using the claw. Smaller, the more it'll break down. It'll stick in your teeth. Sauté means literally in French, to jump. You don't really need a lot, just a tiny bit to coat the pan. Smoke, smoke, get it through there. Two-hand method on these large pans. You go forward and back, forward and back. So now we're gonna use the Paul Prudhomme method. You season twice. We're going cumin, paprika, into the hand first and then into your pot. If you just go like this, oh no, oh, half the jar went in, no, we don't want that. The orange open, why don't we deglaze? See the bottom of the pan is starting to get a little brown. How do we take care of that? No heat, it stops. We deglaze. Simple water, because what was that before it burned? It was caramelization, it was natural sugars. Little dry. Fat equals flavor. Take our chicken. Just trying to keep it from sticking. I want to get those off. That's going to be part of my color in my sauce. Scrape that off, incorporate it in that chicken. 1 rice to 1.5 liquid. Always check your pan. You don't want to be sticking too much. Pasta, chili, paprika, fresh ginger. What kind of liquid are we gonna add today to make this curry? The rice we've got going, we're gonna bring to a boil, take it down to a simmer, put a lid on it. See, it's reducing already. I'd say we want it pretty brothy. How do you fix burned food? You never do, it's burned. We're gonna turn it off at this point. Our rice is simmering now. Ooh, this has a hole in it. We don't really want those holes when we're doing rice. It's always got a layer. We want our pasta al dente. The secret ingredient. We're gonna just put a little bit of this bitchin' sauce in here. I think that's probably about it. Chipotle is a jalapeno that has been left to ripen in the field and then burned. They burn the field. Fresh onion, strain in the pasta. Is it slimy? No. How does it smell? It's not slimy. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna cook the crap out of it. We're gonna put our onions in there. I'm not adding any olive oil, any butter. And why is that? Because the meat has fat in it. Double seasonings. S&P, always, always. Yes, chef. Le taco seasonings. Depending on the fat content of your burger, sometimes you won't even have to drain it. Get rid of that fat. Romaine, this looks lovely. How do you bring back lettuce? Cold water, ice water. Cacumbre, is it slimy? Still crunchy? Muy bueno. Garniture, adios, leftovers. Our burguesa has cooked. How do we fix burned food? You don't, you throw it away. Now we're gonna add our salsa verde. Let's get rid of that thing. salsa fresca. We're gonna let that macerate for a little bit, get the flavors going together. We were family serving this. We'd put the meat on here. We found our Parmesan in there. We'd slap some cojito on it and just crumbly, 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 and would leave this out. People want to put more on. Burger, lettuce, cheese, burger, lettuce, more cheese. Go for it. So now we're at the final time. We do our presentation, we do the family meal, we do plating. At our house, we generally put this on our buffet and everyone just slides right on through. Takes what you want. You got your condiments, your cheese. You can add rice, your starch, your veg, whatever. If you had tortillas, you could toast those. You could put them in the oven for a little garnish again. Crispy, crunchy, soft, yummy, different stuff, yin and yang. Taco salad, leftovers. No one had to go to the store. So, bon appetit.